Hi, and welcome to the Arts District podcast. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Georgia.
And we're on episode 27.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just flying through.
Yeah. I went through our video page on YouTube the other day just to see what our views were like, which there isn't many. But anyways, I was just like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot that I talked about some of these people and I forget all the things that we've talked about. It's been a long time. 27 weeks.
That's cool.
With 1 week off, so technically 28.
Next week is reading week, so I'm hoping to look into getting the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes.
Nice.
Hopefully iTunes I can probably do both, like an audio only version and audio and video. So get that rolling and hopefully get it out there more.
We need to get out there.
Yeah. Develop more of an audience. Not that we don't love the people we have, it's just there aren't very many of you.
I know.
I would do that too, except my parents are like 25 episodes behind.
Okay, Georgia and I have a fun episode. We are going to go downtown Toronto and check out two things. One is a new exhibition. Is it new?
January 24th it opens.
Okay. And something about that festival that we've been talking about, the one at Burroughs Creek.
Yeah.
Today is a big day for that, so we're going to go see what's going on with that.
Hopefully we can get some footage of both of those things.
Yeah.
We'll do some undercover podcast journalisting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So we're just going to do our brief little segment here with a little bit of news.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to mention is I found out today that they're canceling the Orillia Blues Festival this year.
I saw that in the notes you sent me.
Yeah, and it's been running for a while now. I don't know exactly how long, but I read the article online in the Pakenham Times, and we'll put the link in here so you can go read it if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet. But sad news. It takes place normally the same weekend as the boat show down at the Port of Orillia. And they have a stage where it's all afternoon and night. There's music playing. There's usually a beer tent and whatnot. But they're canceling it because their volunteer coordinator had to stop working due to personal issues or whatever. So they were behind because of that, unexpected delays, as well as something about their alcohol license. Things have changed, and so they had to put more money into getting that up to the standard or whatever. So, no Blues Fest this year. Unfortunately, one of Orillia's music events are getting knocked off. So, but we got Burroughs Creek, so I guess it's okay.
Not quite Orillia, but
close enough. One of the other things I just wanted to talk about was a quick Grammy recap. So I watched them on Sunday night. I thought they were Saturday, so when I went home,
that's what I thought too.
I sat down on the couch and I was like, "Where are the Grammys?" I was like, "Are they not on until next weekend?" So I looked it up, and then it was Sunday. I was like, "Oh yeah, right. Award shows are always on Sunday."
Yeah, which is silly because they always go way too late.
Yeah.
Well, late for me because I go to bed at 10.
So I got to watching it a half an hour into the red carpet. It was the show, the actual Grammy Awards, were boring in my opinion. A lot of the performances were ballads and for award shows I want upbeat. Half the songs on the radio are all upbeat ones. It's and then you choose to sing all your slow ones. So I only lasted until 10:30. I watched for about an hour, and I don't know what happened after. I didn't see the Rihanna, Kanye, Paul McCartney thing, which I heard was good, but...
Did they perform all together?
Yeah, because they all collaborated on a song. So I didn't watch that, but the highlights for me, I really liked Ed Sheeran. He performed a song, and I'm not familiar with Ed Sheeran at all, so I don't know what the song was called, but John Mayer was playing guitar, and I didn't know it was John Mayer. I thought it was just some random guy who looked like Buddy Holly. And I didn't realize till afterwards. I was just, when they were John Mayer played on Ed Sheeran, and I was like, that was John Mayer? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about John Mayer. But that was really good. And they did a song with Jeff Lynne from ELO, Mr. Blue Sky, and that one was that was fun to watch. And Hozier, who I'm not familiar with, but I do know his big songs on the radio, he did a collaboration with Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics.
Cool.
And Annie Lennox knocked it out of the park. She was so fun to watch. I really liked that. But yeah, besides that, I was kind of uninterested in the whole thing. Haim lost their category. It was the first category of the night to get presented. Yeah, so that was unfortunate. A bad way to start the night. Sam Smith won that, as well as like 3 other categories for his song "Stay with Me," which is basically like a rip off of a Tom Petty song.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
I guess Tom Petty should be happy he technically won, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was this other stupid thing with Kanye.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you heard about that or something.
I didn't see it because I was already in bed, but I heard about it afterwards, and I was like, no way, he didn't do that stupid stint again, like what he did with Taylor Swift at the VMAs in like 2009. And yeah, he totally like went up to go, and then he was like, and then he like walks back and sits down, but he's like smiling, like laughing, and everybody's like clapping and laughing as if it was a joke. So I thought it was a joke too. And then apparently he did this interview with E afterwards, saying that like Beck needs to respect artistry and he should have given his award to Beyonce. Like Beyonce should have won that. And there's been this viral image going around since of like comparing the list of songwriters from Beyonce's album to Beck's. Yeah. It was like, you know, like 25 songwriters, producers, whatever, on Beyonce's album, and whereas Beck, it was like all written and produced and performed by Beck. And
he plays like 16 instruments.
Like you want to talk about artistry, like there's a guy who's doing it all himself, and he deserved it.
Yeah, it's tough though. Like to be fair, I do think there needs to be better representation at events like this, and like. Let's look at the history of the Grammys and see how white the winners are, you know, like...
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's hard, you know. I think Beck's totally deserving of... and stuff, but, you know, at the same time, it's like...
I kind of like that they're not going with what everybody thinks. Like, yeah, Beyonce could have won. Her record's great, and she's a sweet performer and everything. But, like, it was the same thing when Arcade Fire won for Album of the Year, like last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was. And everyone was like, who's Arcade Fire? Like, these people are from Canada? Like, what is this obscure band doing winning this award? Kind of took everybody out of the blue. So, I don't know. Some of the awards are very easy to predict, and other ones, it's kind of neat when they throw you a curveball.
Now, is it voted on by...
There's like a committee.
Oh, it's just a committee. So it's not like the Oscars where it's like everyone in the Academy votes or anything. It's a committee that selects them for the Grammys?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think for certain ones they'll take like facts, like data, into consideration.
Like sales and all that. Okay.
But then for some of them, like where it's based on artistry or whatever, personal opinion at some point. I'm not totally sure though. I've never really looked into that.
Okay.
But yeah, was there anything little you wanted to mention before I go into my last thing?
I was just going to talk about this exhibition a little bit, and I have a little update.
Okay, do your update.
Okay. So, update is on Miranda July's The First Bad Man. I am still working away. I'm like 2/3 about the way through. And enjoying it, though took a weird sexual turn that I was not expecting. Though in hindsight, like based on her films, I should have expected something.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily exactly along those lines, but it just did like a 180 that I wasn't expecting, and then now it's come back to more on track to what I had expected, kind of like more in the vein of what I was expecting from it.
Is it about the first bad man?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's based off that concept. So yeah, still enjoying it. Still about people connecting and how people experience the world and all that, and quirky and weird and stuff. So still enjoying, still recommend. Be prepared for weird sex stuff.
Like 50 Shades of Grey?
No.
I never read that, so I don't really know what that means anyways, but...
Well, that's... yeah.
I forgot to ask you last week. Remember when we were talking about Yes New Friends? Did you send in a form?
I sent in a form, but I haven't been contacted yet. I think it's really blown up, and it's just like one woman that does it.
Yeah.
And she has another full-time job, so I totally don't blame her for taking her time. I haven't heard anything yet. It's a cool form, though. Like, it's so internet centric. Like,
the only thing I didn't like about the website was that GIF in the background. I just find it too distracting.
Oh yeah, it was kind of distracting. But part of the form is that you have to submit a GIF that you feel describes you.
Which one did you put?
I think, I tried submitting a couple before I got one that it would actually accept, so there must be some sort of restrictions on them.
Okay.
But I took one from, I can't remember because I tried a couple. I think I took one from Parks and Rec of Ann Perkins, and she's like...
I can't fill one out because it's only for Toronto.
Oh.
So like where it says city,
Sorry,
it
man.
only gives you that option. I know, unfortunate. And I was like, I should start that in Hamilton.
Yeah.
But I would need...
Get in touch with that girl and be like, can I create an off branch
Yeah.
of your project?
Except charge people because I need money.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, keep us updated if you
I
get
will.
anything from that.
Yeah.
Okay, the last thing I want to talk about goes hand in hand with what we're going to go downtown to check out later. I found out about this. That totally started out wrong. I was reading this article this morning about that festival, the one at Burroughs Creek. The official name is Wayhome Music and Arts Festival. Apparently, the company that's putting it on, registered that name on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, so that kind of gave it away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Georgia and I are going down to the Great Hall tonight. It starts at 9 p.m. and it's going to be like the unveiling of the initial lineup and just some more festival details. So kind of excited for that. I don't really know what to expect though, like if there's going to be a lineup or if we're just going to walk into this building and no one's going to be there, or if it's even going to be anything and they actually meant on those posters, don't come to the Great Hall. So we'll find out. We'll film it all for you. So far what I do know about the festival is it's July 24th to 26th at Burroughs Creek. I don't think there's anything else going on that weekend, so you have no reason to miss it. The full artist lineup will be available tomorrow on Wednesday, which will already be out by the time we put this episode up.
Yeah. We're filming on Tuesday. It's weird.
Yeah. Organizers have said that they're confident they can grow Wayhome, which is the name of the festival, into one of the premier music and arts festivals in North America.
Wow.
That's quite the claim.
Yeah. Well, I think Burroughs Creek is a cool spot if you're going to do something like that.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. They also have said that the lineup will feature some of the leading artists in music. So I want to say a guess right now. Let's both pick one person or band that we would love to see on the lineup. I'm going to say Haim because they haven't been to this area in a year. So
this is really hard.
Just
you
pick
should have
someone.
put me on the spot.
Just don't even think about it.
What genre?
Whatever you want. Just what band do you want to watch? Lake Street Dive? You like that?
That'd be good. Yeah, I like Lake Street Dive.
That's totally
I've been
attainable.
listening to a lot of the Wilderness of the Wilderness of Manitoba.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I was like, "Wait, it's Alberta."
The Wilderness of Alberta?
Yeah. Let's start that bed.
Yeah, well, who knows? They could definitely be there.
Yeah.
Because they said they want to get local area bands to be a part of it too, I think. So
You should do it.
you know, imagine that.
Yeah. Approach them tonight.
Oh, I should have brought some sort of business card to make me seem legit. Anyways,
Just print one up.
yeah, okay, what else do I got here? Also, it will offer attendees the quintessentially Canadian experience of getting lost in a late-night forest. I didn't know that was quintessentially Canadian. I don't get lost in late-night forests very often.
Yeah. Why do they need to offer a Canadian experience at a thing that takes place in Canada? Are they expecting a lot of international traffic?
I bet, because Canadians go down to Bonnaroo and all that, so I bet Americans will come up, especially if the lineup is awesome.
Yeah. I guess a lot of Americans cottage up here too. So.
Yeah. They're going to have an on-site farmer's market, which is sweet, promoting healthy eating, and I bet all those vendors will be local, so way to go supporting the community. And they're going to have an expansive craft beer selection right up my alley, because I love craft beer. So I'll have a nice cold one while watching Haim, hopefully. And the ticket prices are going to be really reasonable, so that's awesome to hear. I guess we'll maybe find out how much they're going to cost tonight.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, so all good news. I can't wait to go tonight.
Yeah. This is going to be cool.
Yeah.
Because I've been past this venue, the Great Hall, a bunch of times. Like, it's on the streetcar that I take into downtown sometimes.
Yeah.
But I've never been in or anything, so I'm even just excited about that. Yeah. Cool. So, I guess now I'll talk about this exhibition that we're also going to hit up tonight. Lauren actually sent me a link to this, and I've been past this gallery because it's right by the Great Hall as well. I've been past it again on the streetcar a lot and always been intrigued because it's clearly all photography. It is the Stephen Burley Gallery. It's at 1026 Queen Street West, and currently they have an exhibition on called Subway, and it's all photographs surrounding subways, both older historical images and contemporary artist practices that are working in photographing subways and stuff like that.
Like transit systems all over the world, right?
Yeah. So that was a Blog.to article that Lauren sent me, and then from the gallery's blog, it seems like they've been featured in Time magazine with this exhibition. Like, it's really been curated by the gallery. And one person that was specifically, an artist that was specifically mentioned was Michael Wolff's Tokyo compression series, which I've actually studied. Like, when they started describing the images, well, they sort of did, or it just popped back into my head, stuff that I've seen in my photography classes at university and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to actually seeing those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been enjoying being in the city and, like, doing the public transit thing because it's so good. Like, coming from Orillia, where I barely ever used it because before the university in Orillia, it was, like, way less bus service and stuff.
Yeah.
So now, like, being able to grab a streetcar, like, it's running every 5 minutes, or take a bus, or take the subway. It's so awesome.
I liked that too when I lived here.
Yeah.
And in London, I took it a lot when I went to school just because I had a free pass, but...
Yeah, I did it a lot in Guelph.
I never have change on me, that's why I never take transit. Unless I
At
plan
the,
for it. But.
At the bookstore on campus, I can buy subway tokens, and I can buy like 10 at a time. It's
nice.
awesome. So.
Cool. Well, should we go on the town?
Yeah, I think let's head out while we still got light.
It's a beautiful day out.
It is incredible. So happy. I think I tweeted this morning, we're both on Twitter, by the way. I tweeted this morning something about how when I woke up this morning, I noticed, like, the quality of the light seemed different. It just, like, the light looks springier now.
I felt that too when I was driving.
Yeah.
I was listening to some good music, my Wayhome CD, and it felt like summer again.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right, we're going to go check out that exhibition and what's going on at the Great Hall. So, check it out.
Yeah. Hey, so I guess we'll do a little bit of a wrap-up about what we have just been to. I guess you saw some footage from the gallery. It was a cool show.
Yeah, really quiet in the gallery. There was, like, nobody there besides us.
Yeah.
Which was neat.
Yeah, and there was a really interesting video work. They actually have a small theater in the back. And when I was on the blog, the gallery's blog, it said that they do, like, Saturday screenings. So it's worth checking out.
Of movies or?
Movies, documentaries, I think. I didn't look too much into it, but it seems like every Saturday they've got something going on. So I'm going to keep tabs on that.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I liked that nobody, like, approached us to like ask us anything or whatever. It was just kind of wander around and do it at your own speed.
Yeah, it was great.
Cool pictures too. That video was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it.
Yeah,
and I love stuff like that where like, because often I try to figure out how people do stuff and I couldn't figure that out. Well, if I think about it tomorrow, I probably could, but I didn't figure it out, so that's cool.
And then moving on, so we went to, we grabbed dinner at like 5, and then we stopped in a couple shops, and as we were walking towards the Great Hall, we saw that people had already lined up. So this thing didn't open till 9, and there was already people out there at like 5:30.
Yeah.
And Georgia and I were like, because we were going to go stop somewhere else and just kind of poke around, and then we're like, you know what, let's just get in line, because who knows if this line's going to get huge in the next hour and we won't be able to get in. So we waited in line, the freezing cold, like toes about to fall off kind of cold.
Yeah.
Until about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock they let us in.
Yeah, and it was very mysterious.
Yeah.
They didn't give too much away.
We were probably like 10th in line, right?
Yeah,
like
we were really close.
Like, this is the first time I've ever been at the start of a line for an event.
Me too.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so they gave us this envelope upon entering it, and on the front it said, "Do not open," and it was sealed shut, like, with glue and everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people were saying that because the whole theme of the posters was "Do not come to the Great Hall," which we all did.
Yeah.
That they should open the envelopes, and it's a whole, like, going against the rule type of thing.
Yep.
So you had a bunch of people opening the envelopes and spoiling the surprise. Inside the envelopes, there were tickets to this year's festival. So Georgia and I didn't open our envelopes. We thought, well, what's the point? Like, we already know what's inside.
Yeah,
we got
everyone's
tickets.
telling us what's inside. So.
Yeah, so we're standing in front of the screen, and it has a countdown, which you saw in the footage, and then all of a sudden, like, it starts shooting off the lineup. Not all of the lineup, because that's coming out tomorrow, but I guess the bigger names are just part of the lineup. Thanks for coming, hang around, the bar's open till 10:30, and then a couple minutes later the screen comes up saying
but wait, one more thing.
One more thing. And it's like, for those of you that haven't opened your envelopes, please make your way over to this moon. They had a moon on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's like, you are now lifetime pass members for the festival. And we were like, oh my god, we got lifetime passes.
I screamed, so if you could hear that in the footage of that, yeah, that's me. And everyone else who didn't open their envelope. There was quite a few.
A lot of skepticism, a lot of people trying to figure out codes. And, I loved it. It was so up my alley. I love mystery. I just love that whole thing. So
we mentioned a couple times talking to each other that it was totally like that movie Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, with the Where's Fluffy clues to find where this band is playing.
Yeah. People thought there was going to be a band playing, and I did too, because they had all the lights and sound gear.
Yeah, and they had a stage up and everything.
So that was like the only thing that was missing. But it was, because it was a very short kind of like promo thing, but totally worth it to stand in line to get those passes.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
Oh my god. I don't know if I would have been able to enjoy a band, because I think now I'm starting to come off the adrenaline. I would have just gotten so tired. I cannot believe it. I am holding in my hand my lifetime pass. It says it right on it. Wayhome, lifetime pass.
Yeah, it looks like a little debit card.
Yeah.
We're wondering if they're going to be selling them, but like those would be expensive passes. Who's going to spend like $2,000 or whatever on a lifetime pass? Probably more than that.
Yeah,
so it's cool, you know. We've got something rare. There was only like 100 people that didn't open their envelopes.
Yeah.
So.
I guess in the description I can link to their social media and website, I guess, so you can look at the lineup and see if you want to go. It's at Burroughs Creek, and it is July 24th to the 26th. So excited.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I guess, is that all we've got to say today?
Yeah.
Okay, we're both going to be, like, screaming as we go to bed tonight. So excited. Can't believe this day.
Thank you, Wayhome.
Yeah. And I guess we will be covering the Wayhome first ever festival on the Arts District podcast in a few months.
Yeah. And it'll be like our 1 year.
Yeah, it'll be like our year anniversary event too. Holy cow.
Everything's coming up roses.
Yeah. That's what I've been saying all day.
It's been a theme for us.
Uh-huh. I can't believe it.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's wrap it up.
Thanks for watching episode 27.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week for 28.
Bye.
Bye.
I miss my pre-internet brain. Everything is social, in your face, all the time connected now. I can't shake the feeling that I'm missing something. I can't help but think we live in a world that's meant to make us lose our way. But then I hear a song, or read a book, or see something that makes me think. That reminds me what it's like to be inspired. That reminds me what it feels like to know my way. I stare at my phone, but life is better in 3D. Heading out of the city and far into the forest on a bright summer day. Heading up to the quietest, calmest corner of the gallery, where they keep the good shit. Then again, sometimes you just need to blow it out and do all those things. You feel better when you make something. It's just hard to find the time to do it. Other times, you just want to watch people who are super good at making stuff. Music, art, pictures, whatever. What would it be like to be in a place where everyone, the biggest names in music to local and international artists, to each and every fan, were together making stuff? This is not the music festival you think it is. We're about what happens when different and interesting people come together. We're making this about music, food, art, and film. And we're making it a place for people who love one or all of those things to come together to make a kaleidoscope of sound, smell, color, and spectacle. I miss my pre-internet brain. I miss when life felt deep, when my horizon wasn't bound by the screen on my phone. I want to do something that I can touch and smell and feel and hear. I want great music and a big blue sky. I want to head north on the open road with the windows rolled down and the music so loud we can't hear each other yelling out the words to the song. I want that end of day when the wind is the perfect temperature against my skin and the sun makes the sky that crazy blue and red, and I don't know where my phone is and I don't give a shit.